Hey guys, JasonLeeno here. Today's video is another fun-filled Q&A. I believe it's the 6th one on this channel to date, and honestly, I love them. And the reason why I love them is because when it comes to me making videos, for the most part, I kind of just guess what you guys want to hear. You know, what is going to be the most beneficial thing to give you. But when it comes to Q&As, you guys are actually able to reach out and ask me things you want to know, which ultimately makes my life way easier and makes everything a little bit more fun for everyone. But let's just get straight to the questions. First question, why do people take different rest intervals during training? Ultimately, there's many different reasons. You could be in a time restraint, things of that nature, but the majority of the time is because people are trying to manipulate the intensity of their workout. So people who take longer breaks, usually people like me who are trying to get their heart rate to drop and to get the longest break that they can between their sets so they can perform more in a strength manner. But then you also have people who want to keep their metabolism firing. They want to burn the calories more. They want to get bigger and better pumps. They're going to drop their rates to a smaller one, so like 30 seconds, because when your heart rate is firing and that blood is moving, you are going to have a lot stronger pumps because you're not going to give your muscle enough time to deplete the blood out of it, and you're not going to really stop expending calories because your heart is just going to keep going. Hopefully that makes sense. Next question. What is the best way to boost your metabolism? Well, the best way to boost your metabolism, honestly, is to keep consistent in your eating and consistent in your training, because then that way your body will then learn to work efficiently and utilize the calories strategically to function as your day goes on. So if you eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack, and then you train at a specific time each and every day, your metabolism will then fire strategically at those times every day. And then that way your metabolism will get to a level, and then you can either manipulate the calories and increase them to try to get better performance either out of your gym time, running, things of that nature, or you could maintain them or drop them to then put yourself in a deficit to start ultimately, eventually losing weight. Next question. What is the major difference between using machines compared to utilizing something as general as battle ropes, bodyweight exercises, etc.? Well, honestly, ultimately, machines are going to help you isolate your muscles to build muscles in that specific area compared to, say, doing bodyweight exercises and ropes, which is more on a conditioning standpoint. So even though when you're doing like a battle rope per se, you are doing like little curls, there's really no load. There's really no actual stressor to it. You're basically just firing your muscles at a fast rate, which is going to be conditioning them in comparison to sitting there with machine, isolating the muscle to try to stress it in a fashion to build muscle. Why is it important to warm up before playing sports like soccer? Well, it's honestly the best reason to do that is so you can just perform better. You don't have to go through extensive stretching or anything like that, but take, for example, if you go in, you're going on the field and your joints feel like crap and you just feel stiff and sore, you're not going to really be able to perform that well. But if you kind of go through some static stretchings and small warm-ups, you're going to get that blood flowing through those affected joints and things of that nature, which will then make it easier to perform better and at a quicker rate. Next question. What stretches do you recommend? Well, honestly, it all depends on what your goals are. If it's just for general stretching, just really general stretching, like the things we learned in public school, the elbow over the back, across the chest, things of that nature. It's not really that bad. But when it comes to stretch is geared towards like a sport, things of that nature, you kind of go towards that. It's kind of an open question because you need a little bit more information for it. Take me, for example. The stretching I do is more for like recovery. So since I am into powerlifting and I do tax my lower rear chain a lot, so hamstrings, lower back, glutes, I kind of gear my stretching towards that. So things like cat-cow, the baby pose, planks, things of that nature. That way I'm able to open up the muscle fibers to get that lactic acid out and that blood into that area to heal the damage that I've done from my lifting. Next question, should I take dietary supplements? Honestly, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't really see the point in them. Like if you're trying to compete and deplete water, things of that nature, by all means. But if you're just trying to lose weight, there is much better and easier ways, because dietary supplements might help you lose weight quicker, but it's not going to teach your metabolism to keep calories off. It's just going to basically force the calories out, and then once you're off those dietary supplements, you're then going to put the weight back on. And if you want to stay on dietary supplements too long, it'll then start potentially doing damage to your organs, and that's not really that optimal at all. Next question. If I want to ease into becoming a vegan, where is a good place to start, and what are good foods to implement? Well, when it comes to easing into veganism, that reality is, yeah, take your time. When I did it, I didn't take my time, and it was not the best decision for me. I lost a lot of weight, lost a decent amount of strength. It took me a lot of time to get back to it. But if you're going to try to ease into it, that's really what it is. Just slowly start restricting foods out of your diet. So say, for example, 1 month you just stop eating beef, and then a couple months later, chicken, and so on and so forth, until ultimately you just stop eating everything that comes from an animal-based product. And the things you want to implement are, caloric dense foods. So you want to start putting in like more complex carbs, more beans, tofu, like food replacers, things of that nature, because ultimately you can't just restrict animal products and not put anything in, because you're not going to be left with a lot of calories. And I don't care what anybody tells you, salad's not your friend. You're not going to just basically live off salad, because then you'll become a stereotypical vegan, quote unquote, the ones that are really skinny and look unhealthy. That's not what I would personally consider to be healthy. Healthy vegan is someone who you really can't tell that's vegan until you actually see what they eat or listen to what they have to say. Last question. Why do people stand on plates when deadlifting? Well, the reason why they do that is because they're performing the deficit deadlift. And the deficit deadlift is a different style of deadlift which helps build a little bit more explosive power in your hamstrings and glutes. And the reason why it does that is because you are putting yourself in a slightly compromising position for the deadlift by increasing the range of motion by standing on a plate. So ultimately, when it comes to going back to the deadlift, you are going to potentially be quicker at performing it, because you are going to be so used to performing the deadlift at a further range of motion. You will then be able to explosively fire those hamstring and fire those glutes quicker to essentially help break the weight off the floor and ultimately make a faster, stronger deadlift. All right, guys, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have more questions, and if you do, just drop them down below. I'll either answer them in comments or I'll collect them for the next Q&A. But guys, like I said, that's the video, so do me a favor, go down below, drop me some comments, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. I would also like you guys to hit that like, share, and subscribe to spread that love, and I will see you next time.